Oh, wait. I've told them they're allowed to put the vac suit stuff on there, which I don't actually want. Mechanical stuff can't go there, nor should vac suit. There we go. And on that note, let me go into the apparel and change that for soldier. Soldier shouldn't have vac suit helmets on. I mean, maybe one day, but not right now. Yeah, thank you. I would like to make the kiddo outfit stands. One there, one there. We are going to have very few kiddos, so I don't think we need to worry about that. So that's a good trader. Okay, I am happy for you to drop by. Come along on in. I think we need to tear this down. I mean, it's basically contributing to my wealth either way, so I may as well just pull it down. And I don't even need to rebuild it, honestly. It's not really something I need. Shoot frenzy. Okay, good, good, good. We could make kids, but where would we get the parts? That's the fantastic thing. Is the human body is built with a schematic for not only repairing itself, but for manufacturing the parts for kids. They can't, unfortunately, manufacture the parts for, you know, other adults. However, you know, kids eventually grow into adults, so it's got that unfortunate step in between. But you know, it's still pretty cool when you think about it. It's quite clever. I think we can all appreciate the technology involved. Why, hello. Okay then. What stuff have you got? Plant neuroquake, that is bonkers. Fast healing gene pack. Do I want to get into the genes right now? Bionic stomach. Psychic reader. Oh, you got some good stuff here, actually. Okay. I would like to sell some things to you. I don't need that. I'm going to keep the heart because, you know, you never know when you're going to need it. I could sell you some bioferrite, but I don't feel like that right now. Hyperweave I could sell you, though. Wow, you really don't take much, do you? I could sell you some of my pack of survival meals, I suppose. No, don't want to do that either. Or a bunch of shards, but no. Okay, well, what do we want to buy? Learning assistant might be nice. A sensory recording system that replays important experiences during sleep, strengthening the formation of new memories. Global learning factor is a massive increase there. Neuroquake, that would make me an enemy of so many people. Mass chaos skip. Skip everyone in an area to a random position nearby. Objects which are too large cannot be teleported. I mean, that's useful, but what have I got? Have I got a bunch of... I've got a bunch of these. I could take a soothe pulsar, though. Maybe. Bionic stomach is pretty solid. What does the super healer gene pack do? Well, this one has a couple of other things with it. It's got super fast wound healing, elongated fingers, and mild cell instability. Those are probably not good. Elongated fingers gives better manipulation, so that is actually good. But the mild cell instability, carriers of this gene need less metabolic energy to stay alive at the cost of reduced stability in their cell replication machinery. So basically, they get cancer far more likely. They... lifespan factor alters the effective lifespan of a creature by shortening or lengthening the time until they develop age-related diseases. The lifespan factor over 100% delays disease onset and increases the overall lifespan. While so this makes them live less long, but they would gain, and they would be more likely to gain like senescence-related problems earlier. Immune gain speed. If this is too low, the character will die from a disease before developing immunity. Yeah, this slows down their immunity gain. Cancer rate factor, it massively increases that. But it gives them the ability to have much more complicated genetics without needing more food. It's not really what I'm looking for. I will... I'm not sure though. Skill trainer plants, I mean, it's nice. The learning assistant is huge though. And the stomach is quite good as well. Much lower chance of getting food poisoning, is immune to some stomach diseases. An integrated lattice dust healing system automatically repairs the damage. Prevents gut worms. Cows, I mean, honestly, the cows are a really big potential buy for me. They are better than yaks in almost every way. So, life expectancy 22, max nutrition 2.1. That's how much it needs per day. Oh, sorry, food consumption there, max nutrition. What's this? The amount of nutrition needed to complete. Yeah, okay, so that's how much it consumes in a day. No trainability. It is a pack animal, which, you know, is okay, but let's see, meat per day during growth 11.76. This creature gains this amount of meat for each day it grows up until it reaches adulthood. Milking interval is every 1 day. Milk amount is 11. Milk per year 660. How much meat do you get from an adult? 235. But if we have a look at a cow, meat is 269. And where's the milk? Get 14 milk. Milk per year is 840. For pretty much the same amount of food consumption. It's just a better yak. In fact, cows are the only, as far as I'm aware, they are the only food positive creature. In that, if you had a cow and you made a meal out of its milk and fed the meal to the cow, you would be able to do that and still, like, it would be very, because of the way that meals are a set amount of nutrition, but it is food positive. Every now and then, you'd end up with enough nutrition that the cow wouldn't need to eat that, the meal that you made, and so you could eat it. You can absolutely keep cows, you know, feed cows their own milk and just keep that process going. They are effectively, they break thermodynamics. Heyo, Aluve. Oh, no worries. Thank you very much for trying, though. Yaks can caravan and have better cold temperature. We don't need that, though, because we've got our own shuttles, so we don't need caravans. I actually think we take the cows instead of the yaks. We have a look at the yaks. How... Body size 2.1. Leather amount is 84. Body size 2.4. Leather amount is 96. Carrying capacity is 180 versus the yaks 158. Pack animal, yes. Pack animal, no. Whether this animal is appropriate to use to carry items in a caravan over a long distance, it is not. What's the gestation? Gestation time is 6.66 days. Growth time is 19 days, so a little bit over a quadrum. A season, if you like. Same here. Yeah, I honestly think we just take both cows. Tunk, tunk. And we say goodbye to both yaks. I could pick up the Glitter World meds. I could pick up all the plasteel. Or some of the plastic, at the very least. The alpacas I want to keep because of the fur. It's just useful to me. The ducks I want to keep because of the eggs. Again, just useful to me. I would love to pick up one of these. And I could even pick up like mass chaos skip. I just don't feel that was the best one to use. I also think this is like a level 6. So, I mean, we're not that far off being able to have someone who could do it. Neuroquake is wild. Neuroquake. Find a discontinuity in the psychic field and unfold it, releasing a massive amount of psychic energy. Every creature in range but outside of the safe inner circle will be driven violently insane. Casting this takes 12 seconds of meditation, and afterwards, the caster will go into a 5-day psychic coma. The disturbing neuroquake echoes will inflict pain on everyone for many kilometers around, causing diplomatic consequences with all factions. Basically, you know how the whole it's kind of explained very simply. Oh yeah, no, the event horizon. What's the fastest way between point A and point B? Well, a straight line. No, it's a fold space and punch a hole straight through it. It's super simple, super great. It's fine. And then what actually happened when they did that? Well, this is like doing that to everyone but the small bubble of people that you keep close to you and thus shielded from the effects, but without moving anyone. Just unfolding the fabric of the psychic weave and allowing the eldritch horrors inside to reach out and touch people's brains. A nuclear nightmare explosion. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. So I seem to remember you doing this on a map with a lot of mega spiders. Yes, it was good. Yeah. Very, very, very fun times. But as you can imagine, super bad for your... Like, at this point, no one is believing that you are the good guys. All right? You're giving up on that one. And I'm not ready to give up on being the good guys. Thank you. I accept. We are the good guys, chat. Remember. Oh. Another stranger. Okay. Huh. Body mastery. Okay. So, you know how we've lost Xavier? Voidweaver is gone, but not forgotten, and maybe we'll be coming back again. But this is one of the best, in my opinion, abilities. I would say that this is second only to Unnatural Healing. Unnatural Healing is so amazing, but in terms of a single character, Body Mastery is well... Yeah, no, I think I would go as far as to say it is, well, I would say it's on par with what Xavier had. And that is like the kind of the perfect, timeless stranger. You know, they've got knowledge beyond their years and they'll never have any skill degradation. But Body Mastery. They don't have basic needs like eating, sleeping, or comfort. Her body is driven by some unknown mechanism which has turned her eyes completely white. She doesn't need food, she doesn't need sleep, she doesn't need comfort. And she is extremely hard to break mentally. Not very good skills though. But now the problem is, we don't know what the negative is for this character, and it could be many, many things. Could be many, many things. All right, go and have a talk with Cutty. I'm open to the possibility of you joining us here. Okay, Cutty wants to join. The leathery stranger stares into space and speaks in a monotone. Oh, let me interject. The leathery stranger stares into space and speaks in monotone, as though she hardly sees anything or anyone. She refuses to leave, insisting she is only interested in your colony. She says that she can help. Cutty's eyes are pure white. Using local folk knowledge, she has mastered her metabolic and circadian rhythm. At least, that's what she claims. Cutty never sleeps and doesn't need to eat, though in her eyes you see a primal hunger. She may be very useful, but you also sense there is something Cutty is not telling you. There we go. A primal hunger. I mean, we know quite a lot about primal hunger in this colony. Zuni says, all my strangers develop mind crumble after 2 days. It does kind of suck if that happens, but yeah. Allow Cutty to join. Welcome, Cutty. Come. Civilian Durgs. Now then, Cutty. Technologism. Technologism. I mean, I can appreciate that. Oh, really, Randy? I don't believe you for a second. How dare you? How dare you even try to suggest? How dare? Right, you need a widespread weapon. Okay, so Cutty, if that is in fact your real name, basic yes, wardening down, handle down. You got some interest in cooking and hunting. No interest in construction. Let's get those set up. Okay, honestly, not much of a good pawn, I'm gonna be honest with you. You have some interest in cooking and hunting, at least. I can have you be a primary cook, sure. I mean, having someone who never sleeps and never eats be our cook. I mean, there is that argument of never trust a thin chef, but, they're never going to stop cooking, which is good. They will learn very bloody fast. Leafy Pew, stay there. My lord. However, many of our things they don't get to do. Actually, they can do these, because I don't believe... Can you ever get food poisoning from packaged survival meals? I'm not actually sure you can. I don't think you can. So I'm going to allow anyone to make those. Right. We've done a bunch of stuff. Right, I want this one. Copy settings. Paste settings. Copy settings. Paste settings. And then we delete these two. And now I tell you... Yeah, you've already got making recon helmets. That actually needs to be above the stuff there. Oh, animatree linking. Right, who is the next person up? Can I see what your silent level is? Will it tell me? No. I guess I can count, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, you're a level 6. So I could have gotten those for you. Huh. Alright. Who's next up then? Packabing. Mine doesn't have one. Sure. Crete, you can get it. Right, I need to set up my auto slaughter for the cows. I'm going to say for cows, you can have 1 bull, 2 young, 3 female, 2 young. That should get us... They'll let them mostly grow to adulthood before they cull them, so... Hopefully someone will haul them in. Alright, let's find out what you got. You got... Focus. Psychically focus the target's mind, boosting their sight, hearing, and moving capability. Wow, okay. Effect lasts for an hour. That's like a something we could do quite easily in a battle. That sounds very good, actually. Cows should have trial by combat. Do my dryads always want to sleep over here, though? Could I perhaps have my dryad sleep in here? Because this is the most likely place I'm going to be having them fight. I wonder. I'm not sure I want my dryads sleeping somewhere where they can't move around. Sorry, where there isn't greenery. Thinking about it. No. No. But what level was that for you? That was a level 4. So I've got 2 more levels before you're level 6, which is amazing. What I wouldn't give for some... for the visibility right now, my lord. Yeah, let's not put the dryads in the concrete bunker. I'd rather not. Right, but what I would like is pop these 2 down. As for this... Heyo, Cringer. Welcome in, Raiders. I was just pondering the use of my mannequins. I'm trying to get my my varying styles of apparel a little bit better arranged. Hello, how are you all doing? Thank you very much for that shout out there, Demi. Cringer was last seen playing RimWorld. Of course he was. How's your colony going, mate? Aavak playing with his dolls. Yes. Yep. You'll notice that none of my dolls have lost their heads. That's because these are artisanal dolls. None of them are made of porcelain, but they would be if I could. The flesh dolls, though, they lose their heads all the time. Stupid flesh dolls. Weakness of the flesh. Welcome on in, everyone. You came at a good time. I was just sorting through some stuff. We have recently lost a colonist and gained a colonist, as seems to be the case. We lost, tragically, a very, very good colonist. A creep joiner, or creepy joiner, who had perfect memory and all of these skills. Oh, it hurts so much to have lost them. It hurts so much to have lost that colonist. They died when mechs ambushed us while we were out looking for some gubbins. We were looking for a masterwork marine helmet. And as we approach the building, out pop a bunch of scythers, a centurion, and a centipede and a bunch of lancers. It was not great. I felt that was very, very cheap. That was, even for Randy, that was super cheap. Chris says, good, Aavak, almost taken out yesterday, but we've recovered. We'll lurk in a bit, but gonna get the dogs out quickly, since one is a monster. Okay, you've got monster dogs. Fair enough. Hopefully they don't, you know, terrorize the countryside too much, or, you know, eat small children. If they do, I saw nothing. Eldritch doggos, yeah. Funnily enough, the artwork on this was actually amazing. The sarcophagus is engraved with a depiction of Xavier Voidweaver looking at the art of a warg's grave while gazing at a faraway tar pit. A spectral image of the warg stands next to Xavier Voidweaver, wearing a kindly expression. The image contrasts fervor with victory. The scene takes place in the middle of a village, and this representation tells the story of Xavier visiting the grave of the warg on the 6th of Jugas. This is our warg's grave. Engraving shows the warg knocking unconscious Otis Raymond with a warg without emotion or expression. The warg looks triumphant. If you squint your eyes, the vertical composition of the image reveals the outline of several cones. The portrayal tells the story of the harming of Raymond on the 10th of December, 5500. A fever, not fervor, sorry. But yeah, so not quite an eldritch doggo, but not too far off either way. But here is the colony as it stands. We are currently trying to enhance our defenses a little bit. We've just had an animatree linking. We've currently got a max level space wizard. We are working on another one. We've got a Granland tree with many dryads. We've got several harbinger tree areas popping up, though that one hasn't had much food. We just bought a couple of cows, which we're very excited to get going. We've got 4 sanguiphages in the colony and a bunch of mechs as well, and 1 kiddo and soon to be another kiddo. So we'll see how that goes, I suppose. This is an ancient garrison. We started off as a tribe and fleeing the blood machines. We fled into this ancient building full of drones and explodey bits. Thankfully, a wandering trader went in there and face tanked most of the explodey bits, which meant that we got a very big leg up and are still using some of the weapons that we found in the initial stockpile of this garrison. That really, really did massively catapult this playthrough, but we still live here. We've got a little bit of an anomaly set up down there. We're working on things hither and yon. Mostly right now, though, we're trying to expand things out. I've got a large bit of bodies over here in preparation for learning how to make dead life dust IEDs. That's our current idea for dealing with problems that we'd rather not have to deal with ourselves. We've also got 2 cats roaming around the colony, nuzzling people, trying to keep moods up where we can. Catty, what's wrong, Catty? I want a neural supercharge, and I've got no artificial enhancement. Well, Leafy, could you try and convert them? How about do a conversion ritual? Catty, please join us. Their expectations are sky high. You're just going to be annoying, aren't you? Also, they're really hard to break because of their particular, like, certainty loss factors, but we'll see. All right. Leafy, let's see what you're saying. You explained the rightness of belonging with us, specifically, and discussed progress towards the future, and described fear and safety, and how you should be afraid if you are not the recipient of our promise of safety by, for example, belonging to our idealism. The wrongness of apostasy. If you join us, you can never, ever leave. And then, once again, discuss the rightness of belonging. And then discuss love and hate, and how you should love us and hate everyone that isn't us. Then explained the moral structure of the universe. Someone said they are unwavering. They are not. If you mean unwaveringly loyal, they are always unwaveringly loyal until you accept them, and then they stop being unwaveringly loyal. Offer thoughts on false other beliefs like the one you're currently believing in. Punk. Oh, look at that. A masterful conversion ritual. The conversion ritual was masterful. Our old beliefs seemed to dissolve effortlessly and inevitably, and our true knowledge was accepted. Everyone participating in the ritual gained 6 mood for 6 days. Not bad, and we gained 2 idealism points, which actually pushed us beyond where we needed to be to reform our idealism. Well done, well done. Now you're going to be super happy. There we go. Welcome into the fold, Cutty. You will stop being so unhappy now. That was nice and simple, wasn't it? Yeah, it's surprising what you can do when you actually do a good ritual. Right, it is time though for us to to work on our idealism or reform. Now, I don't know how many memes we can have. Can I have another meme? Choose a meme to remove a meme or remove a meme. Do we want to add anything more? I'm really not certain actually at this point. We're kind of getting to the point of transhumanism though, I suppose. I think you can have 3. I've already got 4, so that's certainly not the case. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the shipborn, there's the ritualist. We have both meat tree and an anima tree. So the tree connection might almost be in the cards, as much as it pains my dappling heart. Tree connection. Trees are the essence of life, and we must be near them. Trees desired, rough living, welcome, temperature tough, granulin connection strong. Plant specialist, tree sowing. I mean, that is an option. We haven't had much bonding in this colony, but we do actually have 1 or 2 now. I would have said if it weren't for the fact that Kagutsuji just bonded with a dryad, human primacy might have been on the cards. But I don't think that is actually right anymore. The wiki says 4 memes. Oh, okay. So let me see. Yeah, I can only have 4. Do we lose one? And if we did, what would we lose? I think these 2 go hand in hand. At this point, we've converted more or less everyone, so there's almost no reason why we would lose this. But would we lose collectivists, perhaps? Each person is part of a greater whole. People should work to play their part and help the group. While that is true, it's also the least expressed of all of the memes we have. But didn't we want to make drugs possible? Yeah. What part of memes has anything to do with that? I mean, I guess you could be saying high life, but I would just change the precepts. That's you don't need a meme for that, Pete. Otherwise, we'd still be on drugs never allowed except in direct medical care. Like, I don't think there's anything... Like, I would need to go for high life, we'd already need to be using drugs to make that make sense in the story. You don't go from... Well, like cannibalism right now. I would be open to taking cannibalism now because the colonists have actively been eating human flesh because of their blood feeder meme, because cannibalism became accepted. And so it was seen as almost a religious experience to a certain degree. But cannibal, the meme of now needing to eat flesh, becomes possible. But if you'd never eaten flesh, I would never go for cannibal because it makes no sense to. Because you're going from, I've never thought about doing this ever in my life, to I have to do it right now. And that's kind of what high life would be. it would go from we use drugs to make sure that people don't die when they've got the plague to if I don't have drugs right this bloody second, I'm going to lose my shit and start smashing people's faces in. It makes no sense story-wise. Transhumanist, though, does. As we've started to... We've got a mechanoid and we've started to use bionics. But the tree connection is a really, really good point. Maybe we could. Maybe we should. But we've been chopping trees so much, though. But you're right, though. You're right. We've got the anima tree that we, like, literally been worshipping this whole time. And more recently, the Granland tree. Yeah, we've been deeply disrespectful to trees other than the anima tree. That's true. Transhumanist, what would that give us? Human progress means merging with technology. Is this part of our anime story here? You know, the humble tribes people driven from their home by the furious blood machines sent by an angry god, scorching and cutting, the screams of their kin echoing in their ears, and their drive towards vengeance, hopefully learning to ascend to the heavens so they can dethrone God. Along that path, have they come to accept the necessity of becoming the machines that drove them from their home? Do you have any pets? Yes. Well, actually, yeah, no, we do have a couple of pets here. Oh, yeah, that's right. We also have the flesh trees, too. That's actually true. The transhumanism is technically already a thing if you think about the nanomachines that are keeping the sanguiphages alive, yeah. So collectivist is what we started with, but are we still focused on collectivism? Or have we started to fracture to a certain degree? I think proselytizer, that's an obvious keep, because we have literally been converting people almost as a default. Bloodfeeder, obviously keeping that. Darkness, I feel that darkness does kind of make sense with regards to the bloodfeeders and their revering of the bloodfeeders and the fact that bloodfeeders don't like the light. Oh God, it's going to be an isekai. That time I got reincarnated as a mechanoid and conquered the RimWorld. There's almost definitely a bit of a class divide between the blood feeders and the non-blood feeders. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, there is. There's a very distinct difference between them. I think I asked that before. Why not have two ideologies? You can't do two ideologies. Like, you can't manage two ideologies. One has to be the one that you're working on. As far as I'm aware, you can't like reform, because you can't have multiple fluid ideologies. All of the other ideologies in the game are static. Maybe there's mods that allow for it, but with like a fluid ideology, there's only ever one. Now, it is quite possible to have multiple ideologians in a group, and that makes them more and more diverse. That time I got reincarnated as anima grass. Wow, that is that. Okay, that is the guy who's gonna have to have one hell of a hook to really keep me interested. I'm gonna just say that right now, okay? That is gonna have to be some crazy out of the box thinking to be able to make that anime interesting to watch. But anyways, Welp. PT has now become ER. PT? I'm not sure what PT stands for. ER, I know that's visit due to breathing and heart rate going bad. God damn it. Oh, take care of yourself, mate. Mo Game Pro said, one time I tried to have 2 ideology colony and was disappointed when I realized I couldn't make a link between them. PT is physical therapy. Ah, right, okay. Okay, I think we're going to go with transhumanism. Can I select it? Oh. Oh, no. I would need to lose one in order to pick up the next. Wow, okay. Still. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think the collectivism is broken down. Like, only some of the people here are from the tribe. There's a massive disparity in kind of backgrounds, and as you said, there is a budding class system. So sure, we'll say goodbye to that, and then next reform we'll take transhumanism, if that is the one that makes the most sense at that time. But losing collectivist is necessary at this point. Okay, so we're going to lose work drive tripled. That's fine. Now then. I think we can say goodbye to this, because I think at this point the colonists would feel like if they could have just brought themselves to be filthy sinners and use those drugs, Xavier would still be alive today. So that's our one use. Tunk. Since I've never taken a meme away, I think I'm going to make an exception here and say that when adding a meme, I only get to make 1 change, but when taking one away, I can make 2. Does that sound fair, chat? Because otherwise it feels like this is a very lackluster reformation. Okay, so what's the other thing that we're going to do then? I am thinking we could either move towards a more focused view on ideologies, so having a more unity of thought, or as more and more of our colonists are now starting to fall in love, move away from physical love being lustful acts with non-spouses being considered problematic to free, or I don't think a mining. Well, I mean, I could add a mining specialist. I'm not as interested in that though. Add another ritual. So, chat, what are you thinking? There is honestly a part of me that wants to take the wild boar and switch them to cats, because frankly, I think Arcanis might be getting to the point where they're starting to think of the boars as actually just more of a problem than anything else. The amount of times I've had to send people to get the boars off the map. We could make, well, the problem with that, if you make sanguophages a preferred xenotype, then not being that will make people unhappy. Like, this will really mess with people. That's only useful if most of the people are that. What have the balls done for us? Freeloaders. I mean, to be fair, the boars wiped out like an entire mech group, I'm fairly certain, didn't they? Who's left from the original tribe? I think there's 3 or 4 people from the original tribe. And at this point, there's new children who are being brought up as tribals, so they're being taught the ways of the tribe's ancestors. But what other than wiping out a raid have the boars done for us? Then someone said, boars bring us berries every so often. Okay, so what other than wiping out raiders and bringing us berries have the boars ever done for us? Gearsmore. Okay, I think for me, the venerated boars, I'm not... Oh wow, that actually makes them even more happy, really. Oh, they've got to be really close most of the time. Right, okay. Still, I think that one, we would need a real push to make that work in the story. I can see getting a new ritual. I can see changing diversity of thought, and I can see physical love. Shall we get a poll? You know, we haven't done a poll for a little while. Sure, let's do this. Okay, chat. You've got exactly 5 minutes to make the choice. Tonk. Let's put bacon back on the menus. No. Next Reformation, maybe. Venerate cats using boars as mounts. The boar riding cat knight. You know what? There's probably art about that already, so I can see it happening. Cats also have fangs, like vampires. Just saying. We need an opportunity to rescue that colonist that was kidnapped. They are still out there. They're just a member of an enemy faction. But you're right. We do want to go and rescue them. I would like it very much. Okay. It looks like there is quite a strong push towards more physical love. But the new ritual is catching up. There's only 2 votes in it, actually. Now, what kind of new ritual would we have if we did? We could get a Sky Lantern Festival. Nice thing about Sky Lantern Festivals is, aside from anything else they do, as long as they're a good Sky Lantern Festival, it'll give you positive relations with nearby factions. And, you know, the other nice thing about a Sky Lantern Festival is it reminds me of that cutscene at the beginning of Horizon Zero Dawn. Still such an amazing cutscene. I think of it often. The Princess Posse 100% approves of venerating cats. Now, if we could just do something about these Cocker Spaniels. What? Okay. What have you got wrong against Cocker Spaniels? So Raul, 51 minutes ago, you suggested a fix for using wool. I can tell them what to make stuff out of without problem. I can't tell them what to put onto the mannequins, was what I was saying. So, you know, having a shortened range wouldn't help with that, sadly. Okay, it looks like the new ritual is currently in the lead by 2 votes. But yeah, I think definitely we've already got a drum party, so almost certainly going to go for a Sky Lantern Festival if we get a new ritual. Possibly a social festival in the future if we go for that. And likely we would, well, would I set a date? I don't know if I would. I think I like the idea of Sky Lantern Festival just being something that the colonists could decide they want to do. Oh, the poll is, it's now 5 points between more physical love and new ritual. Oh, no, it's starting to close again. The Dapper Baron's getting itchy trigger fingers, I think. Now, as for physical love, since it's currently on mild, the way that we would move it is we'd either move it up to spouse only moderate, which is not what we would do, or to free. We won't move it by more than 1 degree of difference. And the lanterns are nice visuals. They are nice visuals. But would it be to remember those who have passed on, or to send a warning to the blood machines? Well, I mean, they do climb up into the heavens, don't they? Maybe it's to carry the spirits of those who have left us into the heavens, where they can continue the eternal war against the blood machines. Okay, new ritual wins by only 2 points. There was a bit of a push towards the end there. Let's have a quick gander at exactly how that went. Let's view the results and the breakdown. So, in last place with 3 voters casting 3 votes was Less Diverse Beliefs. In second place, with 24 voters casting 38 votes, we had More Physical Love, with Dunrell leading the charge with 5,000 dapper ducats. But in first position, with 23 votes and 23 voters and 40 votes, Corruptocracy has won the day. Yob God casting 10,000 dapper ducats into the void. New ritual has been bought. Pay to win. Yob God decided to lean on the scales. So, Sky Lantern Festival. Let's edit it. This is the Unhallowed Advent. I want something better than that. The Dark Party. Dark Ascent. Anytime. Random recruit, no. No. Nearby faction, goodwill. What do you think about the name, chat? Dark Ascent. We've got the Dance of the Hollow Voices and the Dark Ascent. Some of the lanterns should be painted with canines. Canines? You like Black Friday more. What has Black Friday got to do with anything? So just like real life, democracy turned out should just mean decision making goes to the highest bidder. Yes. Black Friday is the name of the festival. Yeah, I'm asking you why it would be Black Friday. Well, how does that have relevance to the story? Give me your in-game lore reason for it to be Black Friday. Just throwing out things that sound nice to you does not cut it. You need to back it up. Oh, canines as in doggos. Right. I get you. Because it was bought by capitalists. Also, it's dark and can happen regularly. Alas, no. The capitalists didn't exist in the game. I do see now why you suggested it, though. Rising of Spirits would be a nice name. Spirits Rise. That's actually not a bad one for animists. Spirits Rise, Spirits Ascent. Starlight Reinforcement. I kind of like the idea of Spirits Rise. That's actually not a bad one. Sure, Spirits Rise. We'll go with it. Okay, locking it in. Boom. There we go. Okay. Well. You know what? We're gonna do one. As soon as that fire is built and nighttime comes, we will do a Sky Lantern Festival. More berries from our boar friends. Probably want to send a stupid amount of beer to a nearby faction, honestly. We'll find out about that. But at this... oh, you know what? That might actually have something to do with why they... that's why they weren't picking it up. It's because the Ideal Legend said they weren't allowed to use it. Suddenly we know. Suddenly it all makes sense. I wish it had been a little bit more clear. I really do. Teetotaler won't ever take drugs, so there's no point.